The world held its breath. Across every screen in America, flashing red headlines screamed a story no one could ignore. Obama to be arrested? Shocking twist in U.S. politics. News anchors, faces pale and voices trembling, repeated the words as if afraid someone might deny their reality. Social media erupted instantly. Hashtags trended within minutes, speculations ran wild, and millions of eyes were glued to the screens. The nation had always expected drama from its political arena, but nothing on this scale. Nothing like this. From the White House to the smallest cafe in Ohio, whispers became roars. People asked themselves the same impossible question. Could it really happen? Could Barack Obama, the man who once stood as a symbol of hope and progress, now face the unthinkable? Across the country, Americans paused mid-step, phones frozen in trembling hands, hearts pounding with disbelief. The tension was almost palpable, as if the very air had thickened with uncertainty. Meanwhile, looming over the chaos, one figure's shadow stretched longer than ever before. Donald Trump, larger than life, unpredictable, and relentless, was the storm at the center of this unfolding drama. His words had ignited divisions, his presence demanded attention, and his actions had left the country teetering on the edge of unprecedented confrontation. Was this his ultimate play? A maneuver so audacious that even seasoned politicians would falter under its weight? Millions wondered if this was not just politics, but a spectacle designed to shock, dominate, and disrupt everything Americans thought they knew. Across town halls, private homes, and bustling streets, people speculated, debated, and argued. The airwaves were alive with tension. Every network, every commentator, every citizen was caught in the magnetic pull of this story. And yet, beneath the spectacle and the fear, a quiet unease took root. The kind that hints at forces at work far beyond simple headlines, far beyond Twitter storms and late-night debates. Something deeper, more consequential, was unfolding. And just as the nation began to imagine the unthinkable, the camera pulled back, revealing a truth that no one could ignore. The story behind this shocking twist went far deeper than the headlines suggested. The tension gripping America was unlike anything seen in recent memory. In the halls of power, whispers of investigations, subpoenas, and secret hearings spread like wildfire. Every news cycle seemed to carry a new revelation, a new accusation, a new claim that deepened the nation's uncertainty. Americans who had once felt removed from the machinations of politics now found themselves on the front lines of a drama that could redefine the very foundations of their country. Conversations that were once casual debates over dinner tables had transformed into urgent, almost desperate discussions about justice, power, and the future of democracy. Donald Trump's voice dominated the airwaves, each statement more audacious than the last. With his signature blend of bravado and provocation, he taunted, challenged, and stirred the nation's divisions. Supporters cheered him on, convinced that history was finally bending in their favor. Critics, however, saw a dangerous game unfolding, one where truth and accountability were threatened by spectacle and manipulation. The polarization was electric, a living pulse that reverberated from the steps of the Capitol to the smallest towns in the heartland. Every headline, every tweet, every live broadcast seemed designed to ratchet up the stakes, to ensure that the nation could not look away. Meanwhile, Barack Obama's legacy hung in the balance. The man who had once inspired millions with the promise of hope and progress now faced scrutiny that transcended politics. This was no ordinary scandal. This was a confrontation that symbolized the tension between integrity and ambition, principle and power. Every move, every word, every decision carried weight far beyond individual careers. It carried the weight of a nation's conscience and the eyes of the world. Allies abroad watched closely, understanding that America's stability, Credibility and moral authority were on the line. The question on everyone's mind: how would a country built on democracy and the rule of law respond when its leaders were pushed to the brink? Across social media, ordinary citizens became historians in real time. Tweets, live streams, and viral videos captured raw, unfiltered reactions: fear, disbelief, anger, hope. Parents explained the stakes to their children, students debated late into the night, and communities argued passionately over what justice really meant in a time of chaos. Everyone understood, instinctively, that history was being written before their eyes. This was not merely a news story, it was a moment of reckoning, a test of the nation's values and resilience. And yet, despite the urgency and the headlines, a subtle truth lingered beneath the eye.